Welcome to Messages from Light with Nikki Avery.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Nikki with Messages from Light. And today, I'm kind of going to continue what I was talking about in the last video slightly. We were talking about breaking your cycles. And along with breaking your cycles, I think another thing that needs to be discussed, and the Spirit is adamant about continuing this is soul contracts. Now, when I say soul contracts, I'm talking about all of your soul contracts. So everyone that you come in contact with in your lifetime, as simple or basic as it may seem, you contracted to come in contact with that person for whatever reason. Doesn't mean you need to know all of the reasons. But you chose to interact with that person at that time for a specific purpose. So, the guy that you smiled at and held the door open for at the gas station today, you had a contract to do that. Maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe he was feeling like nobody cared. Maybe by you holding that door open, you showed him that somebody cared. These are our soul contracts. Now, that's a minor soul contract. That's an everyday soul contract. That's just, interaction. But you contract for it. And we tend to forget that. Everyone that we come in contact with, there's a reason for it. When we make these soul contracts, it's on large scale and small scale. It's on big aspects and small aspects. Okay, so when I made my soul contract, I'll use myself as the example. When I made my soul contract, before coming here, mind you, we've been here numerous times. We all have a job here. We know what we're here to do. We know. We know that there's a reason that we have to keep searching and we have to keep moving forward in our consciousness. Before we come here, we set a plan. And we say, okay, all of these things are things that we need so that we can accomplish our job, our mission, our goal. These are the growth patterns that we need. And these are the people that are going to help us grow. And these are the people that are going to encourage us. And these are the people that are going to challenge us. And these are the people that are going to lift us up and support us. Okay? We choose all of this. You chose the family that you came into. You chose the social status. You chose whatever experiences you've gone through in life. Once we can accept responsibility for those choices, once we can accept responsibility for the fact that, hey, I did this because I needed to learn something, then we can start looking at it differently. When we look at it differently, we start to change the way we think about it. When we change the way we think about it, we start to awaken to new concepts about our experience. And the whole point is to awaken, to stop sleeping, to be aware. These soul contracts are huge. I myself chose in my contract to come into a family where there was abuse. I chose to experience abuse in my childhood so that I could advance my own path. Now, some of you are sitting there and you're going, you're nuts. There's no way you would choose to go through something like that. There's no way that I would have chosen to be a drug addict. There's no way that I would have chosen to be sexually abused. There's no way that I would have chosen to be beaten. There's no way I would have chosen to be hit by that car and paralyzed. There's no reason I would have chosen these things. But I'm telling you there is. I'm telling you there is. And if you can tap into your higher consciousness and you can accept, I chose this. And you can say, hey, help me understand why I chose this. Help me understand why I decided this experience was necessary. Your angels, guides, divine, all of these help mates, all of these counselors that we have, they will step up and they will give you what you need. They will show you those answers, but you have to be open to receive them. You have to be willing to accept, hey, there's a reason for this. There's a reason I did this. There's a reason I chose this. I spent a lot of years being very angry. I spent a lot of years lashing out because I didn't understand. And the hurt that was caused in my childhood carried over. Once I woke up and I realized I chose to experience that. I chose to experience it, guys. And I don't regret it. Let me explain that. Once I woke up and I realized I chose this, I chose to experience this. And I asked my guides and my divine and my higher consciousness, why? Why did I choose this? Why would I need such a horrible experience? Such a painful experience? And the answer came back. How could you heal that experience for anyone else if you haven't healed it in yourself first? How can you heal the deepest cuts if you haven't yourself been cut? How can you teach people to see outside of the experience and see the causes and find understanding if you yourself have never had to do that? I was awake. I was awake in that moment. And I was aware of why I did this, of what this was meant to do for me. And it changed everything about my experience. I stopped being angry at my father. And I started trying to figure out why. Not why I experienced it, but why he was the way he was. Why did my father feel the need to have his experiences? And when I looked at what had led up to my negative experiences, I realized that my father's experiences were so much worse. And the anger that I felt was then replaced with sorrow, because I felt sorry for his experiences. I was hurt for what he had gone through. I became empathetic. And that allowed me to forgive. And by forgiving, I realized that that was the point of the experience. It wasn't about the pain that happened. That's a part of it, yeah. That's a part of being human, guys. There's pain in everything. There's negative experiences. What we perceive as negative experiences, they're not really negative. We perceive them that way. They're painful. They hurt. They cause scars, but they're necessary. And they're your contracts. My father signed a contract to go through all of his experiences. And then he signed a contract to further our growth by putting us through those negative experiences. And some of you are going, well, that can't be a good thing. Let me tell you something. Just like in your everyday life, sometimes you make the right choice and sometimes you don't. Sometimes we make contracts to be the good guy. And guys, sometimes we make contracts to be the bad guy. Sometimes we make contracts to be the one that's cruel, to be the one that's hateful, to be the one that is hurting others. Doesn't make us bad people. It means we're growing and they're growing and we're sharing an experience that we contracted to share. My father wasn't a bad man. He wasn't an evil man. Did he do bad things? Yes. Was my family hurt because of the actions of this man? Yes. But he was broken and he was hurt. And that brokenness and that hurt then spilled over into every other aspect of his life and caused him to then perpetuate the anger and the hurt. So when I said we were going to carry on from where we were, this is what we're talking about. Breaking your cycles. Once you realize that these contracts are in place and you realize that every experience happens for a reason, breaking the cycle becomes easier. Because you see the cycle and then you start asking the question, why? Not why do I have to go through bad things, but why does this keep playing out? What have I not learned? Our soul contracts are so important, guys. And you'll contract for positive experiences as well as negative. But you have to own the fact that you chose the experience. You have to own the fact that it's for your growth and for the growth of others. And you have to stop beating yourself up for choosing to be the bad guy in one situation or another. There's dark and light in all of us. It's duality, guys. And we all make both positive and negative choices. But it's only our perception. The action is not inherently positive or negative. It's only how we perceive it. When we're doing our internal work, we start to recognize these contracts. When I first started doing these videos, just not even a month ago, I was so nervous about what I was doing. But I had contracted for there to be people that stepped in and encouraged me. I contracted for complete strangers to step in and encourage me so that I would continue the work. See, they seem so small, but they're so huge, guys. These impulses that we have every day to do these little meaningless or what seem like meaningless things, they're not meaningless. They're important. Follow them. Do them. Because you never know what contract you're fulfilling. And when we're talking about breaking your cycles, again, look at your contracts. Figure out what you need to be learning or what you're not learning. Figure out how you need to grow. Figure out how to find forgiveness. Figure out how to feel forgiven, to get rid of guilt. These contracts play out every day, guys. And you have the free will to learn and grow and process through them, or you have the free will to choose to continue within them. I had to experience the things that I went through because there were cycles that I had to break. I had to break a cycle of abuse. And I did. It wasn't easy. But by recognizing the contracts that I made and the reason for those contracts, I did it. And that's what breaking the cycle is about. It's about recognizing what needs to happen. It's recognizing the contracts that you signed and how to fulfill them. Because see, once the contract is fulfilled, it's done, it's over. But it won't stop until the contract's fulfilled. So if you keep struggling with the same person over and over and over, go to your higher consciousness, go to your divine, go to your guides, go to whoever you communicate with on a higher level. And say, hey, look, this person and I just keep having the same problem in the same monotonous circle, and I don't want to do it anymore. So can you please show me that contract and show me what I need to do to fix it? They will. They will give you the answers. Knock and the door will be open. You simply have to know where to look, guys. And then you have to be willing to accept the answers that you're given. They may not be the ones you want, but you have to accept them. And then you have to do the work. These contracts are so important. And when you truly understand what they are and what they mean, they're beautiful. Keep looking for these contracts, guys. Keep figuring out where they're playing out in your life. And keep seeing the beauty in them. I hope that you enjoyed this message. I love to hear from you guys, so please let me know. What contracts are you fulfilling right now? What contracts have you recognized in your life? What are you doing with them? What are they teaching you? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell so you're getting notifications. There's new stuff coming out all the time. I would love to talk with you guys further. If you would like to work with me on a one-on-one basis, please visit the website. It's awakenedlight.com. Until next time, I love you guys. Keep growing your light. Bye.